So I have returned today to do the next episode in the Occultic Nine saga, being episode 7. And as we know, it's literally got real in the world of Occultic Nine. Like, fracking hell, boys. Like, put it over there because it's getting serious in here. Like, everyone's dead. Like, besides Viotas, I think everyone else is kind of not in the land of the living anymore because they don't have their shadows, which I was kind of like, oh man, okay, I get it. All right, I think I kind of get you. Like, I think YouTube just died. Greato days. Oh, don't die on me now, YouTube. No, don't do it. Don't do it before the video that's bloody start. Oh, that YouTube's actually fine. No, I thought YouTube had actually died. No, it's just YouTube on my end had died. Like, on my actual kind of version of the stream, it just caked it for some apparent reason. All right. So, yeah, it's back to what I was saying. So, yeah, practically everyone else in the show is dead. It's kind of like, oh. And then you kind of realize that. You're kind of like, oh. And then when people said, yeah, because they don't have their shadows, like, oh, okay, I get it now. So everyone's dead because, as we know, Thing found out, oh freaking hell, I'm on that list of people who've died. What's going on here? And then we kind of, oh, hey, how's it going? And then we kind of find out that actually there's a second stage to what was the first stage, and then, yeah, beat's gonna get real pretty freaking bloody fast. I can bloody imagine. God damn it. Oh, cracking hell, my brain's not gonna like this episode of Occultic 9. Not at all. Like, it's not gonna like it at all because my brain was practically fried by the end of, like, last week's. I was like, oh, everyone's dead. So probably this week's, my brain will be even more fried when I find out. Yeah, tired. I'm kind of getting a bit like fatigued recently. I don't know why. And also the fact is I'm trying to get all my work done quickly enough so I don't have to actually freak out later on. Kind of get on my brain a little bit. But yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. A good thing is that next week, I think, is it next week or is it the week after, that Final Fantasy 15's coming out? Really? I'm surprised because the show's actually really good. Like, I'm actually kind of shocked because I think Occultic 9 is actually one of the best shows of the season. It's kind of like one of those ones that no one watches, but you're kind of like, why doesn't people watch this? Because it's like pretty freaking good. I mean, it's confusing. It's really hard to follow sometimes, but like, it's a pretty nice show. Like, once you get into the meat and potatoes of it, the only thing about it is the fact that it's okay, it's died. Alright, so let's bring you over here, good old YouTube. Actual thingamajig. Yeah, I kind of wonder why. I think there's one other streamer that does it. I'm not even too sure. Like, I still think he does it because he's doing. Yeah, episode 1 did get shut down pretty hard. Like, that was the only problem with it. I think episode 1 kind of was everyone's epitaph for this show. Everyone's like, yeah, let's not watch this show after episode 1 because it was pretty freaking like, what the bloody hell's going on here? Which again was understandable because episode 1 was a mass mess of different things, but once the series got going, it actually kind of sort of, I couldn't say calmed down, but just kind of took it a little bit slower than usual. It got really freaking good. And actually, when you kind of looked at the actual visual elements of the show, it elevated it beyond the point of being, oh, it's alright. Because I think now we're getting to the anime-only section of the show as well, so it might get even more interesting to think about it. Plus, Free Guts is out in about an hour as well, so there's not even that. There's no problems here. We still got Free Guts. So, anyhow, let's actually kind of get this show on the road before anything happens. So yes, without delay, we're seeing YouTube is actually kind of not dying. YouTube is fine. Let's us actually get the show on the road. So in 3, 2, 1, let's begin. You know, I also remember there's some girl that came out last week as well, right at the end of the show. It's kind of like, oh. Why is every single detective in this show a bloody little, like, 15-year-old person? Like, I don't get it. Like, do we live in a society where 15-year-olds like aren't able to become detectives, but in every other single like world, every single detective is 15 years old, and you can solve a case like Batman? It's always one of those things that always kind of. Oh wow! I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to Free Gutsy this week because then I need my calm down after this show. This show tends to like destroy my brain, so a nice calm down would be pretty nice. Granted, then again, Free Gutsy doesn't calm you down; it just makes you depressed. That's a problem with that show. But it's just, I don't know, because you had the Otaku detective, and now you have her. It's kind of like, why is every single detective like 15 years old? Like, can we really trust it? Yeah, I know. I've seen that a lot, but it's just the fact that every single detective's 15 years old. I'm like, why? Kind of like it's so unrealistic. I mean, to the world itself doesn't seem unrealistic, but it just kind of seems like you're kind of sitting there going, would it happen? Is there a 15-year-old out there that can actually solve a case like freaking Batman? I don't think there actually is that many. I'd be surprised. I wish I was like that. Because of a case like Batman instantly. Like, you just dead. That's another thing. Damn it, Koichi. You got yourself some more mess, haven't you? He has no shadow. Everyone's ignoring him. I mean, Grizzly Olga makes more sense because it's what we actually know in the detectives, but I don't know. It's confusing me. Can she communicate with the occult? Oh my god, the report girl's there now as well. It's getting real here. Too bad. She's so freaking annoying. Granted, I kind of almost should have imagined before going into this show with about occultic and realism that's a girl with freaking humongous breasts that probably would not be able to stand up very well. Kind of when you think about it, might have just broke realism and suspended disbelief completely straight away. See, everyone else's names starting to appear now. Huh, that makes sense actually then. Got a point. If a ghost can't make phone calls, that's illegal. Because he can't write letters either. I mean, she probably was a little bit depressed after that because she did find her like friend completely like non-existent in the box. You think one hell of a conspiracy? You kind of like got the government saying, or some kind of random ass group saying they want to do a stage 2. You know, it's a stage 2, you're screwed. Because stage 1's already happened. Stage 1's pretty much the beta test. You just don't. You don't mess with those people. Yeah, it's true. Detective Conan has a little kid as a detective as well. I never actually I never kind of ever bought into the fact of how those such young kids can be detectives, but I guess just don't think about it too hard. I like how it's just casually explaining about memories and stuff like that, but it's going too fast. You can't like keep up with it. You're like, hey, wait 1 second here. It's memories and stuff. I need to like kind of. What do you kind of realize if they were dead? When you just kind of walk outside and say, "Have we got a shadow? If we don't have a shadow, we're dead." At the same time, can they believe that they're dead or not? It's just like you can't say yay and nay to it. Could they be in like the shadow realm or something? Could they be a part of that thing? They are the bridge. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. You just kind of have to kind of point to what kind of telltale signs tell you're dead or not, and just kind of go, yeah, am I dead or not? If I do these things, like rather than go punch someone, if they react to it, you know you're alive. If they don't react to it, you know you're dead because they'd be like, oh freaking hell, what the hell was that? Holy crap! Is she investigating the Otaku detective? Now I kind of think about it, and of course she's actually part of psychometry as well. God, it get confusing after a while. If everyone's a ghost in this town, it's just like freaking out. Like you'd be like, it's like what in the name of Christ is going on here now? It'd be a pretty good twist if everyone was actually dead in the town itself. But it's kind of depressing because the visual direction of this show is bloody phenomenal. Sometimes it looks so good. Certain shots kind of whoa at you. Okay. I don't know any shows recently used as ghosts, but there were quite a few. But I remember like very vividly. I wasn't into that kind of thing. He was investigating it because every single thing kind of pointing towards it. Yeah, I mean, the focal point story might be a bit more of a tall to define one, but it's more of a spoof thing. It's like in cinema. Sometimes you know when a trope's become tied once a comedy's made about it. That's how I always realized it. And if Ghost is basically that, because she's 15 in an anime, she knows everything. That's how she knows. Everyone just knows these things. But tomorrow I'll wake up with a shunning gun. So if we're going for the fact that he's actually dead, then he hasn't actually appeared to everyone else yet. So oh, okay, so yeah, he's gone. He's actually still he's in the Shadow Realm as well, surrounded by green and yellow. Yeah, pretty much this decipher. He's in the Shadow Realm. Ghost Code. He made his Steins Gate reference. He just said Elso Konguru. He done it. He's done it. It's in the same universe. I think if we play the Dean, we'll get every single sequel we want. I mean, it makes sense why you can actually communicate with the Devil Dude now, because he's dead. Because otherwise, then why would you be able to communicate with him unless he was actually a part of the cultic thing? Something. I think if you play the Dean, sequels will be made. Like it happens. Yeah, he's gone. It's this like realization episode. Everyone just realizes they're gone. It's like turns to 6 feet under. Kind of makes sense why she can communicate with him as well. Oh yeah, that thing that she was like really attached to her brother, wasn't she? I like the heavy use of blue and green. It's always really kind of it's a nice contrast in colors, and plus it also actually kind of provides very occultic and otherworldly kind of activities. It's a primary color used for it. But kind of when you think about it, he's been wearing blue his whole entire time. Apparently not anymore. Those guys are going to make some kind of Shadow Realm thing out of it. If he's a ghost, how can he type a computer? This is actually a ghost computer. Too a conspiracy to think about it. How can he be sitting down unless he's actually not a Hollywood ghost? Because don't forget, actually there's actually themed 2 types of ghosts now. Again, that's another thing. Why didn't he just go straight to the morgue? Yeah, kind of just, that's the kind of deciphering moment. You kind of like go straight to the morgue and actually see whether or not you're there. If you're there, you know you're dead. Also, if you know if you're surrounded by the color green, oh, he's dead. So something to do with the cards plus something to do with the book. Because of course you can actually communicate through that. So, question: did he die before he actually saw the professor, or after? I assume it must have been after. It's fracking mind control, girl. Well, that's pretty concrete. We found out he's dead now. My God, does that not tell you, user, that you're dead? Mind control. So you can confirm it's actually brainwashing. Okay. Oh, babe! It's the box. How did that survive the water? It's the radio, not the box. It's the radio. That's Yuta, isn't it? So she can't communicate. She can't actually see into the memories of the people once the people are there. If they're ghosts, that is. But now basically we can confirm they're dead. Like they're not in the land of the living anymore. They have been brainwashed and actually did that whole entire thing that we saw. So our whole entire theory of they're all dead is actually true. That's extremely concrete evolution right now, because they are practically all gone. But everyone has the exact same memory, so I'm guessing what happened last week with the actual kind of people saying, "Oh yeah, by the way, that's just stage 1. Stage 2 is coming later," is true as well. They must have brainwashed everyone. So I'm guessing probably stage 2 must be like on a grander scale than stage 1, because stage 1 they're saying they were just like lab rats. They were just like betas for the actual kind of bigger pictures that happen later on. So what I can imagine is that next one will be a bigger scale and everyone else will be involved. Like everyone else are kind of following now. In essence, the 1, 2 in the land of the living will be the next ones to go. That's how I'm kind of seeing it. Because it's kind of dangerous, and then you kind of actually, when you start looking at the visuals, you kind of realize, oh freaking hell, it's been there since the start. They all have been dead since the beginning. And you never realize these things until later on. You're like, oh my god, they're dead. Well, episode 8 looks like a complete hoot of an episode. Fucking hell. Oh Christ, okay. Oh, my brain. It kind of feels a little bit strange, I must say. Like, oh my god. Okie dokie. So, what I take from the episode of Occultic Nine is the fact everyone's dead, which is practically the most evident thing. Everyone is not in the land of the living, as I said before. Everyone we've been following besides Ryota, I'm guessing is the only one that's actually still alive. Though I'm still kind of questioning whether or not she is dead or not. Like, I don't know, but is the manager dead as well? Because the manager can actually communicate with Yuta as well. So is he one of the ones that? Is he one of the ones that's practically gone into the land of the shadow realm? Like, we're not too sure, because again, doesn't them kind of living in this world right at this second kind of prove the whole occultic theories that people have been going, hey, freaking hell, mate, that ain't true. Like, yeah, I hear your theories, son, because that ain't. Nah. Is it now kind of just proving our whole entire shebang now? Because again, I think there's people trying to say, no, there isn't no such thing as occult activity. But as we saw with the girl who's now the actual detective, which still kind of puzzles me to this day, but still, I'm going to kind of judge. Doesn't her seeing Yuta kind of prove the whole entire theory true? Like, in essence, they are actually occultic activity. In essence, and also people bumping into things they can't see. Doesn't that kind of also prove the whole entire theory true? And I'm guessing, but it's a whole entire research that Sadai's dad has that kind of points to somewhere. Because again, have they deciphered the whole entire code yet? Because I don't remember they deciphered every single last bit of it. And I'm guessing also because they said that Sadai's dad, who's a professor, also had some like kind of research which they were going to use, but they're actually going to like kind of use its basis to actually kind of extend the research to go beyond that point, to then go into a kind of area where they actually can kind of perfect what was already there and actually kind of go into the shadow realm itself, go into the like kind of other world. That's what I remember the kind of like people, a lot of the guys from Nerve, from Evangelion were kind of talking about last week, but they never got mentioned in this episode either. So, but alas, we actually got to kind of see the actual kind of bodies. So now we actually can deduce they're dead. Well, we haven't seen every single one of them, but we've seen Yuta. We know Yuta's in not alive. We know he's gone. He's not in the land of the living. Everyone else apparently is there because their names have been called out. I think Miyu's been one of them as well. I'm not too sure. There was a and also the girl who can speak to the devil is also dead as well. I think her name's Ria. Like she's she's dead, but that makes sense because she couldn't talk to him before too well, but she could hear him. But now she can see him and actually talk to him. It basically makes some semblance of sense that she's dead because she's passed on and actually is able to talk to people from the other world now. So that actually makes sense. If the watch will not stop going off. Yeah, Miyu's also part of the one that's died as well. So Miyu's not had a living either. As I say, I swear Miyu was one of them as well. But then he kind of actually realized why there's so much green around. He kind of like, oh, so that's why there's so much green around, because no one's like alive. Everyone's dead. And it kind of, the signs have been there since the start, which what it kind of annoys me. I didn't actually kind of pay more attention to the visuals, because the visuals are kind of the more key thing. Maybe that's the whole entire thing. Maybe that's why the dialogue goes so fast. It's because it wants you to concentrate on the actual dialogue, so you actually then miss the visual elements. Which, when you think about it, is actually not too bad of an idea. In essence, you're so hard-pressed concentrating on the actual dialogue that you tend to miss the visual aspects that kind of give away the whole entire story. Because, again, freaking hell, can we actually really call this one a show don't tell kind of story? Because, again, it's a show that kind of lavishes itself in very, 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 very complicated ideas. It doesn't actually kind of present itself as quite straightforward because, again, we didn't really know since the start they were going to be dead, but now they're dead. So, yeah, but it also kind of points back to that card as well. The cards, the book as well, and it all kind of leads to somewhere. It has to lead back to the kid that was killing Miyu's friend. It has to lead back to there. Plus, it has to lead back to the girl who's the one that wrote the BL manga, because apparently she's kind of like one of the key aspects of it. But then it's also kind of whether or not they will also get to the Shadow Realm next week or the week after or week after that. We're just not too sure what's going to happen next because, again, it doesn't kind of present itself straightforward. It kind of establishes something, but then it'll kind of like keep it on the back burner until very, very later on to the series and kind of just bring it back full frontal. Kind of like, oh yeah, I remember that about that, don't I? I remember that was one of the things that happened. Yeah, I get it. I remember that. It's what a show tends to do sometimes that I've actually picked up on. Because I was like, oh yeah. I guess in the whole entire, I want to go back to the whole entire conversation about memories. I was kind of like, my brain was fried after that point. I was kind of like, what was going on? Because we had the whole thing. I swear her name's Cold. Oh, where are you talking about? But you can also see that Yuta's kind of a bit too dismissive of that whole entire thing, because again, you would be in his shoes, because you'd be like, how would I be dead? This can't be true. What's going on here? So you're gonna you begin to kind of dismiss everything, but then again, you would kind of think to yourself, I need to prove that I'm not dead, so I'm actually gonna do everything in my power not to actually kind of prove that I'm not dead. But he doesn't kind of do it, because I was sitting there going, why doesn't he just kind of do something that would make you seem alive, and it doesn't actually happen, then you're dead? But it doesn't do it. But I'm guessing it's probably because he just dismisses the whole entire thing, but in the end he realizes, oh, freaking hell, I'm dead. Unless, here's the other thing. My eyes been really weird. Here's the other thing. What about if the list kind of points to the people that have to actually kind of take out to actually get into that kind of realm? Whether or not they themselves already had kind of experiences with their cultic activities. So if they are able to get those people to actually do what they did, then it kind of allows them to get into that world. I'm not too sure because, again, I'm kind of sitting there going, what is the importance of that list? But then would the list kind of point to people they have to actually kind of pick off to actually kind of then go into the shadow realm, as they call it? Again, it's another theory. It's not one of those things I can concretely say, yeah, that's actually true. I'm kind of just going a bit over some of the kind of dialogues. Yeah, because then again, you also have the whole entire idea: what ghosts do they fall under? Because again, you have the Hollywood ghost and you have the normal ghost. Because you would imagine the normal conventional idea of a ghost is they kind of phase through objects, but that's not the case. That was very, very Hollywood kind of thing. Hollywood actually did that. That wasn't a thing that was always present in like theories of ghosts. There was actually a theory. There was actually a book written on it, whether or not it's actually true if they could phase through objects. Because if they could phase through objects, then how do they not phase through the floor? Because I was like, yeah, when you think about it, it's actually kind of true. Why wouldn't, if they were actually ghosts and they were actually able to phase through objects, then they would fall through the floor. Because then how can, so technically they're unless they're possessing bodies, but then that can't be true because we actually found their dead bodies. And what's that word? The memory that is preserved by a magnetic force pops outside and gets charged with the microparticles in the air. Those particles recall memories from when you lived in your personalities. And that's where your souls are. Oh, let's go with that again. That's kind of a heavy thing. And gets charged with the microparticles in the air for some reason. Those particles recall memories from when you lived in your personalities. And that's what souls are. Fracking out, all right. Kind of one of those things you don't want to drop on a person. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to watch this casually. Yeah, because if they're ghosts, they can't write letters, they can't talk to people, all those kind of things. But he clearly did speak to someone, so unless she actually was dead as well, it then kind of proves the whole entire theory of whether or not, again, this whole entire town is dead as well. We just don't know, because there was one girl that actually spoke to you, so I was kind of like, hey, wait a second here, that girl spoke to you, how can she do that unless she actually can talk to people? But then again, how could she? Because again, we've never been introduced to it before, so why in the name of God can she actually speak to people? But hell if I know. That's the only thing I can't predict this. I can't predict this anime. I predicted certain things, but I can't predict everything. The show is kind of. But it was kind of the other thing that kind of. Why did they go straight? Why was the morgue introduced right in the episode? Why didn't they kind of just go, yeah, okay, so we need to prove that we're alive or dead. Okay, so they've actually recovered all our bodies. So why don't we go and see our bodies? If we're actually dead, then that's the case. We actually are dead. But I don't know. I kind of just sat there and went, there should have been certain things that should have been triggered to actually kind of make you realize, oh yeah, by the way, I'm dead. They didn't kind of do it, and I need to kind of see that girl. I wanted to see the detective person again. Because she was interesting. She's also in the open as well. I just realised that. Damn it! Should realise these things sooner. Also, congruent indeed. I saw that. I was like, hey! nice little Star Trek reference there. Guy who's an otaku. It was like nice Star Trek reference. So basically, just kind of proving the whole entire theory of that. I think it's Chaos. I think it's Chaos Head, Chaos Child, Steins Gate, and Occultic Nine all appear in the same universe. And I think it's also Robotic Noise as well. I think Robotic Noise is actually kind of like a future version or something. It's a really confusing timeline apparently. That's why I haven't actually looked into it. Okay, that was it. I need to know her name because her name's Arsenal, and then Detective Kid said not to. Why don't you realize why I took her name off of the investigation list last year? I was kind of like, why did you do that? So I need to go quickly and find that out because that was kind of confusing. Okay, here's the thing. Unless he has more to do with it than we imagine, like Detective Otaku Kid. Unless he actually had something to do more with it than he's led on to believe. In essence, could that be an evident thing to say? Like he could almost be roped into this whole entire thing. He actually might be like a kind of my watch telling me to breathe. He might actually be kind of a part of the whole entire thing, like with the BL manga girl thingy, like that kind of group. Because again, he's seen quite a lot with her, so it makes sense that he might just be a part of it all. I'm not too sure, but that kind of actually makes some semblance of sense. Because why would he want Arsenal off because Arsenal would actually realize what's really going down here and actually kind of pinpoint what's really going down. So that does actually kind of take some. That really does kind of make some sense when you think about it. Because Arsenal has got that weird thing that she can actually kind of go in and actually kind of uncover the truth. So you would imagine he took her off the case because she would find the truth out or something else. I'm not too sure. I'm kind of just theorizing here whether or not, yeah, he's got more to do with it. Like he actually might be evil. We're not too sure, but I can't say. I'm gonna go and probably have a lie down quickly and kind of get a coffee and actually then go and watch Free Guts. I'm probably actually gonna move Overlord to tomorrow because I'm actually gonna make probably tomorrow my manga day. Like in essence, I'm probably gonna do Bokura, Overlord, and also we'll do Gundam as well. So I just probably do those three tomorrow. So yeah, Free Guts will come out as normal. So yeah. Anyhow, with all that said, I have indeed been the driver. If you have enjoyed the live stream as a whole and you do want to leave a like, then do leave a like because indeed it does help me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed my content as a whole and you do want to leave a sub, then do leave a sub because it does. My watch is going off every 5 seconds. Actually really irritating me. If you have enjoyed my content, I just lost my train of thought. If you have enjoyed my content as a whole and you do want to leave a sub, then do leave a sub because indeed it does help me quite a bit. And then you join the family, then you know when my streams go live, and then as well you kind of do other things that probably subscribers do anyway. I'm not even too sure anymore. My brain's gone a little bit frazzled. So yeah, until possibly about half an hour to 20 minutes, I shall see you guys later. Bye now.